I think about, man, I have to perform songs every single night or every other night.
To the world, he is Bruno Mars, the 15-time Grammy winner, the man with the golden voice and the silk suits. But nobody really knew the real Bruno. This is the story of the kid who performed 1,000 shows before he was 10, the teenager who slept in abandoned zoos, and the man who reportedly lost everything to the high-stakes tables of Las Vegas. At 39, Bruno decided to pull back the curtain on the childhood trauma that drove him to fame, the addictions that nearly derailed his career, and the secrets he's carried for decades. Welcome to Prestige Buzz. If you want to dive deep into the lives of Hollywood's most iconic legends, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you never miss an untold story. The Boy King of Waikiki. Bruno Mars was just 4 years old when most children were learning their ABCs. While his peers played with toys, Bruno was already a seasoned pro, performing 2 shows a night, 5 days a week. His family's musical act in Waikiki had a secret weapon, Little Elvis. Wearing a tiny, custom-made glitter jumpsuit, he mimicked the king's every move with eerie precision. By the age of 5, he stole the spotlight at the 1990 Aloha Bowl in front of 40,000 people. At 6, he was charming Arsenio Hall. In 1992, he earned $600 for a one-day cameo in Honeymoon in Vegas, a moment he later joked was his first Vegas residency. Before he hit double digits, he had performed nearly 1,000 shows. That kind of pressure builds a unique grit. Years later, when he rehearsed for the Super Bowl, he famously said it just felt like recess. From spotlights to rooftops. The shine didn't last. When Bruno was 12, his parents divorced, and the family band dissolved. The music stopped, and so did the money. Bruno, his father, and his brother became nomads. They slept in a yellow '93 Cadillac, on rooftops, and most famously, in an abandoned bird zoo where the screams of peacocks replaced the sound of applause. They survived on 7-Eleven Spam musubi and snuck into hotel pools just to shower. For 5 months, they lived without electricity. Bruno practiced his guitar by moonlight because they couldn't afford amplifiers. At school, he was teased for his thrift store clothes, but the hunger only grew. He spent his nights impersonating Michael Jackson for $75 to fund his demo tapes. The birth of Mars. In 2003, at 18, Bruno landed in Los Angeles with $600, 3 demo CDs, and a name written on a luggage tag. The industry didn't know what to do with him. Labels wanted him to be a Latin pop star, the next Ricky Martin, even though he didn't write in Spanish. He refused to be a caricature. He took the nickname Bruno, after wrestler Bruno Sammartino, and added Mars because a girl once told him he was so confident he must be from another planet. Success was not immediate. He lived in $40 a night motels and lied his way into a DJ gig just to keep his phone on. In 2004, Motown signed him to a 3-page contract, thicker than a breakfast menu, he joked, only to drop him 9 months later without releasing a single track. The Smeezingtons and the breakout. Failure led him to Philip Lawrence. Broke but determined, they wrote music in the back of a beat-up '99 Toyota Corolla. They studied 1,000 hit songs to decode the science of a hook. Calling themselves the Smeezingtons, they began writing for others. Their breakthrough came with Flo Rida's Right Round, followed by B.O.B.'s Nothin' on You. By the time Bruno released Just the Way You Are in 2010, his fingerprints were already all over 15 million digital sales for other artists. When his solo debut Doo-Wops and Hooligans finally dropped, it hit like a tectonic shift. It stayed on the UK charts for 400 weeks, surpassing the longevity of Abbey Road and Thriller. Redefining the sound of pop. Bruno became a master of the risk. When he recorded Unorthodox Jukebox, his label panicked. It was a chaotic mix of disco, rock, and reggae. Bruno was so confident he gave up 4% of his future royalties just to afford the live horns and vintage gear he wanted. It paid off. The album moved 6 million copies and won Best Pop Vocal Album at the 2014 Grammys. Then came Uptown Funk. It took 11 writers and months of grueling sessions to perfect. It dominated the Billboard Hot 100 for 14 weeks and became a cultural phenomenon, even being used by the BBC to teach the correct tempo for CPR. In 2016, he doubled down with 24K Magic. It was a lean, 9-track tribute to 90s R&B. Critics called it a history lesson. It swept the 2018 Grammys, winning Album, Record, and Song of the Year. His subsequent world tour grossed a staggering $367 million, proving that Bruno wasn't just a singer, he was an empire. Silk Sonic and New Heights. In 2021, Bruno teamed up with Anderson .Paak to form Silk Sonic. They wanted to capture the essence of 1973. Leave the Door Open became an instant classic, streaming over 2.3 billion times. Their Grammy performance, backed by Bootsy Collins, was a masterclass in soul. He continued to shatter records in 2024 and 2025, collaborating with Lady Gaga on the haunting Die With a Smile and Rose from Blackpink on the viral Smash APT. The latter's music video hit 100 million views in just 19 hours, proving that even after 2 decades, Bruno's Midas touch is stronger than ever. The $50 million rumor and the heartbreak. Despite the accolades, shadows remained. In early 2024, a rumor surfaced that Bruno owed MGM Resorts $50 million in gambling debt. The internet went into a frenzy. Though MGM issued a formal denial, the story persisted because of Bruno's past admissions of a poker addiction. Instead of hiding, Bruno leaned in. He joked about his dry phone during his Vegas residency and used the debt as a punchline to drive streams. "Keep streaming," he posted, "I'll be out of debt in no time." More personal, however, was the silence surrounding his longtime partner, Jessica Caban. After 13 years together, fans noticed they were living separate lives. While they never confirmed a split, Jessica's cryptic social media posts about cheering from afar suggested that the rock Bruno leaned on for over a decade had finally moved on. Legacy of a legend. From sleeping in a bird zoo to commanding the world's biggest stages, Bruno Mars' journey is one of survival. He survived the collapse of his family, the rejection of the industry, and the pressures of global fame. He is a perfectionist who once recorded 16 different versions of a single snare drum hit, a man who left the sound of a breaking tequila bottle in a song because it felt real. He remains the kid from Hawaii, still chasing the high of that first 1,000 show run. What is your favorite Bruno Mars era? Let us know in the comments below. For more deep dives into the legends of music and film, stay tuned to Prestige Buzz. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Prestige Buzz, and turn on notifications so you're the first to know the real story behind the stars.